Can't turn your phone. Oh. Well, what's up, guys? Hey, I'm doing another mini message this week as I'm doing a series of talks on relationships that I started this past weekend. And how exciting. I'm in my garage. New garage at that. This past week, I spent some time simplifying at our old house, trying to get rid of different things and getting into the new. I wanted to ask you a question, and you can post this in the comments, but what's one of the harder things for you to get rid of when it comes to simplifying your life? I don't know if you've ever been faced with a move or whatever it might be, but what's one thing that you have a hard time getting rid of? So earlier this week, I was at the old house going through some things. Don't tell Michelle that I took 6 bags of trash out to the curb. Yeah, don't. It's our secret, so don't tell her that I did that. But so I'm in my new garage. There isn't a whole lot here. This will be fun. Yeah, we can come out here and exercise. Probably not. No, we'll go for walks anyways. But in this series, we're taking a look at a letter by one church leader by the name of Paul, and he is writing friends and telling them of the things that they need to get rid of. They need to replace some things, especially in general, life in general, but it especially relates to how we relate with one another. And I started off by saying that if we're going to change the way we relate and change the way we live, then we need to change our thinking. And so Paul then goes in and he talks about the fact that there are some things that we need to get rid of. He says, get rid of anger. All of us, I do. We all get angry. But what he's talking about here is how are you dealing with anger in healthy ways? That was something that I had to learn as I was a new husband and a new father. I had to realize that the ways in which that I dealt with anger before, they needed to change because of my new relationship with Jesus. Or he says, get rid of malice. That's like planning somebody's downfall. It's planning to hurt somebody, and we can hurt somebody physically, but we can hurt them emotionally as well. And sometimes we've done that. Or he says, get rid of filthy language. How are we talking to each other, about each other? How we need to get rid of that. We need to replace that. Or lying. That doesn't work well in any relationship. And so these are some of the things that he says to get rid of. And if we're going to get rid of old habits, we need to replace them with good practices. And we'll get into that this next week. But, as I'm here in my garage and thinking about the things that I needed to get rid of in this past week in order to start a new life in Indy, what are some of those things that you need to get rid of relationally? Because you know that they're just not working. You're in a relationship with Jesus now, and that means that you're in a brand new family, and you actually relate differently. You look at him, you follow him for your cues on how you love and relate with one another. And so we get rid of those ways of relating by replacing them with more positive ways of relating. We'll get into that next week as I do another mini message. But if you are local, if you're close, if you're here in Indianapolis, you can come out to Hope Church. You can find us at hopeindy.net. And I would love to see you 10:30 this next weekend. But